been thinking a lot about being 38. I'm getting ready to turn 39, and so this will be my last year in my 30s. And I think what brought it home to me was the likelihood that I'll probably not double this, right? Because 38 and 38 is 76. So if I'm healthy and everything goes well, or I don't get hit by a bus, I might just double it. But after that, probably not, right? So this is kind of like, this is probably the midway. And so I'm kind of thinking about the things that I've done, the things that I set out to do, but also the things that I still want to do. And trying to make sure that the life I'm living now is in alignment with what I still want to do. Because I'm going to be honest, 38 doesn't feel old yet. I feel different than I did at 18 or 28. But I don't feel old. Even though, even a decade ago, I would have thought 38 was practically ancient. I would have been surprised that my hair is not all gray at this point. But anyway, so I've kind of been looking back and realizing that part of being a teen mom is that I've spent my entire adult life caring for my children, and I love that, and I'm completely fine with that. Would I like to have done things God's way? Yes, obviously. I would have liked to be married first before I had our oldest. But I also wouldn't probably change it, just with how everything ended up. So yes, there is the reality of I wanted to stay with my kids, and I got to do that. I wanted to homeschool. I got to do that. I've graduated too, and Josiah will get ready to start his senior year soon. So even my homeschooling role is winding down. And with having a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old, a lot of the intensive hands-on parenting is over. Parenting never ends, but it's definitely a different role than even a few years ago when they were teens. So I'm kind of thinking like, okay, I wanted to homeschool. I wanted to stay home with my babies, and I got to do those things. I wanted to have chickens. We did that for 15 years. We're getting ready. We took a year off, but we're getting ready to start the chickens back up. I wanted to have goats and dairy goats and milk them, and I did that. I wanted to learn photography, and I did that. Obviously, I will continue to learn my craft the rest of my life, but there are things that I set out to do, and I've done them. But there's still so much that I want to do, and I want to learn. You know, I have tried to quickly give myself a classical education so that I could go ahead and give my kids one, but there are so many of the great books that I've still yet to read. There are so many topics left that I haven't explored yet. And so I think part of where I'm at now is thinking about, okay, so if that was half my life and that went so very quickly, even though I'm pretty reflective and I'm pretty much like a goal setter and things like that, the last 38 years went by very quickly. So if I'm only going to double it, if that's basically all I get, what do I need to do to align myself, to align my life, to make sure that in another 38 years, I'm not looking back and thinking, oh, I've squandered it. Oh, I wasted my life. I wasted my time. I wanted to do that and I never got around to it. There will be things, I'm sure. But I want to feel at 76, I kind of want to feel like I do now. Like, oh, I set out to be an involved grandparent, and I was. I set out to love my daughters-in-law and my son-in-law well, and I did. I set out to take stunning photos, and I did it. That is looking ahead, and I'm trying to think about what do I need to do, but also who do I need to be in order to have that contentment at 76? What does the next phase of my life even look like? And so those are the things that I'm considering. I kind of thought that would be an interesting vlog topic for this week. So where I landed, at least for this week, is back to the beginning. You know, ever since I read Emily P. Freeman's book, A Million Little Ways, and she has in there about how the soul was not made for fame, I've been saying, okay, I don't intend to live a big life. I intend to live a faithful life. But that's so much easier to say than to live out, because we have this culture that is constantly trying to get us to attain things, to perform, to consume, to provide content, to be bigger, to grow, to enlarge our business. It's not enough to have a successful business. We have to be bigger. We have to be better. We have to crush the competition, right? The opposite of a kingdom where we're called to serve, to lead, where we're called to love our enemies and pray for those who persecute us. It's the opposite. And so at the end of my life, if all I've done is teach my kids and serve my husband and ultimately serving the Lord, is that enough? And I think that's the midlife question. I think the midlife question is the same question we ask when we're starting out, when we're getting married, when we're raising our kids, and at the end of the life. Was it enough? If we're serving Christ, then the answer is yes. And so that quickly cuts through the heart of the matter to, I don't need a midlife crisis. I don't need really even a big revamping of the system. It looks more like daily dying to self and following what I've already learned and continuing to learn. It doesn't look like achieving huge goals now that I've raised my children and I can, go be my own person or be a girl boss. Are we still saying that? I hope not. It looks like a continuation, and of course it does, because the fundamental things about being a human don't change. The fundamental things, if the chief end of man is to glorify God, then we just have to keep doing that. We have to keep glorifying God, and not have to, we get to. So I think I can chill out about it being my last year of my 30s, or how quickly time is passing by. Precisely because it's supposed to. Time is supposed to be passing by until we get to eternity.
I put it to you. And one day you make a better.
But in some ways too, I can